Welcome to the Thought Leadership Series featuring interviews with some of the best minds in the industry. Today's special guest is popular platform speaker and best-selling author Dave Anderson. I'm Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and talk show host. In this segment, we're talking about lifetime income process using non-convincing language, all from Dave's book, Non-Convincing Language. Dave, we're going to talk about, you have a process. I mean, I don't know how you got this down into a whole working machine and software ability, but you did. And I want to talk about this because this could be very helpful. I have to say that most agents, registered reps, need a track to run on.
Well, I think so too. I mean, the more systematized and processed we get, the better things are and the more consistent we can be. Now, what was interesting for me is I came out of the software engineering field. I was 20 years working for the government, building software, writing in all kind of coding languages. Very analytical, process-oriented guy. But I've been doing public speaking and training and stuff for over 25 years as well. So how do I blend those skills together in a process that helps us in our office every day? Look, I'm in the grind like everybody else. I'm out on stage a lot. I'm doing a lot with writing my book and speaking and training and coaching. I've done that for a long time. But I'm also sitting in front of clients every day as well.
So I think that's a big issue because we're talking about somebody that is right on the street, knocking it out with clients and prospects all day long, huge production. And you have time, I don't know how you did this, but you had time to put this together. And this could be maybe the thing you're looking for. People need a system, a track, a process. That could be it for you.
Well, it can. So we built this with two goals in mind, right? We always want to be enhancement people. We don't want to interfere with what you're doing. We want to enhance it, or if you have nothing, we want to be the total package. And so we got parts that can work with anything from non-convincing language alone with your systems or blending the two together. So for me, this is what I use in my office every single day. And I developed it. So I'm the author, founder, creator of it. And so when we went to build a tool, a software tool, a system, I've used a lot of them, right? And there's a lot of great ones out there. And I give guys a lot of credit. But here's what I found. When I started using calculators, and I started building my own calculators, and I've built over 100 of them, and they're all scenario-based. Here's the problem that I found. I would go into a meeting, all geared up. I'm a super analytical, I'm a gotta-know-it-all kind of guy. I'm gonna know more than you. I gotta build my ego, puff up my peacock feathers, and be secure in my meetings, right? We're all a little fragile on the inside. So I'd go in there, and guess what I'd do? I would dump it on you. And I would throw up calculator after calculator and say why you shouldn't tax defer, or why you should tax defer, or why you should do this, and why you shouldn't do that. And I would beat you into submission. I think most people would say, well, Dave, what do I got to sign to leave?
Just to get out.
And I would lose a lot of sales. And my closing rate was okay, but it wasn't near where it needed to be for the activity that I had. And I said, well, I've got to improve, right? I've got to turn it from me and what I need to do to the client. That was the birth of non-convincing language. Then I looked at my systems. I said, how can I start tearing those away, destructing the wall internally to how I did business? I said, I want to build a system that is very easy for the client to engage in, very easy for my office and staff to build it, very easily understood to the client when we relate it back to them. And I wanted to do all this with zero convincing. 180 degrees away from how we're taught in sales. Sales is taught about influence and convincing and what you got to do to get a decision. I'm saying, how can we do it with zero convincing? I do not want to go to my office and have a burden to convince you every day to buy. I want to go to my office and enjoy your company, look at your stuff, and help you make good decisions that moves you forward in the way you want to go. And that's how we did it. So we have a whole system called the Lifetime Income Process System. And you can go on the web, lifetimeincomeprocess.com, and check it out. But you've seen some pictures like this in other segments. This is a whole financial planning model. And people always give me this, Dave, well, is it really different? Well, look, it takes us 2 minutes to write a spreadsheet that takes numbers and income and a graph. So there's no magic to the math. It's just math. Everybody needs to get off over their excitement about, oh, I'm so special. No, you're not. It's math. We didn't invent it. But it's the presentation of information and what you do to get a decision that's critical. I don't know how to make it simpler than a 2-line graph. This is what you want. This is what you got. And the data behind it flows exactly with non-convincing language. Our software package doesn't hint at any product. It is completely product neutral. Whether you're a life insurance guy only, life in securities or investments, you're an asset under management person, it doesn't care. It cares about a cash flow ratio for you to be okay throughout your lifetime, a balanced financial model. We blend that with a 1-page fact finder. Man, I used to give clients a 15, 20-page fact finder. I'd look at it, resistance. Then guess what happens with resistance? Walls coming up, a barrier to entry. Everything we do in our process is to tear down that wall, to move you forward so we can actually help you. We have a 1-page referral guide because we don't ask for them in the typical sense, but our process develops referral. I'm a fully referral business. So we have an online university. right? It's all video trained. So you get a lot of this non-convincing language stuff to where you watch, there's over 40 videos out there. There's materials to download. We do 24 coaching calls a year, right? We do 2 a month that we're actually doing live cases on training of business practice management, non-convincing language, and blending it with real stories and real cases. That's part of what we built with the lifetime income process, blended with a language system. This is a support tool to our language.
Well, for more information on the lifetime income process and how it can help you expand your practice, just click on the landing page address in the video description. We'll be right back with more from Dave Anderson.
This is your website. Few people visit, and if it isn't attracting new visitors, it's not doing its job. Now you can drive more visitors to your website through dynamic content and email marketing with CreativeOne's Social Media Elite. Capture quality leads faster and easier. Engage your visitors with informative articles and videos to boost your online credibility. Plus, stay connected with existing clients and earn more referrals. All content is customized for you. It's time to introduce your website to the world. Call your CreativeOne sales team at 800-992-2642 or visit us online at creativeone.com.
In this segment, we're talking about the lifetime income process using non-convincing language and the action steps you can take to get started. All from Dave's book, Non-Convincing Language. Well, Dave, let's get into your whole system here. We talked a little bit about it in the first part, and I kind of want to do some review and walk me through some of the basics, next steps. And let's just set it up here by showing a few of your stats.
Well, when we deal with people, right, selling is dealing with people. Most things we do in business is dealing with people. Most time we go to seminars, conference, things we read, we're so worried about the product and the knowledge of what we do, the systems, the calculators, the tax laws, the estate planning stuff, all the things we do in our business. But we don't spend much time learning people. And our business is people. Life is people, you know, from in the home and marriages to your church, to your kids, to in your office. And business success, even inside of an organization, we know that 87% is people knowledge. So you can be the sharpest guy on the planet with knowledge, but that doesn't make you always the most successful guy. We've seen some people that don't have the best knowledge, but they deal great with people, and then they succeed very highly. So these are stats from the Stanford Research International. It says 87% is people knowledge, 13% product knowledge. But we probably flip that. We probably spend 87% of our time learning products and things about our business and not much time dealing with people. This was an interesting stuff for young people, right? It says, this is a Pew Research Center says 90% is communication for young people to be successful. And then followed behind that's reading. And reading is a form of communication. So we learn a lot of this analytical stuff, all important as well. But look at the top of the charts here. We don't spend a lot of time. So when I built non-convincing language, it was a transformational way to communicate that I could be more effective. We all have good intent, but when our effectiveness can drop. So I wanted to take communication to be effective with what I did. Knowledge is easy to get on the products. So how does that become important to in the meetings, right? In production, increasing sales, increasing prospecting. Things that people want to know in our business are always looking for the next shiny widget. Well, look, there's no get-rich-quick scheme that works. It's people. Growing a herd of people that have relationships that bind to you, that tell people, hey, you got to go meet with my guy. Why? I don't get referrals because I'm the best financial guy on the planet. I believe that I am, but, you know, that's my opinion. More importantly, they refer, say, you just got to meet with Dave. He'll change your life. These are life meetings that we have every day with our clients. It's not about sympathy for somebody. Sympathy is basically agreement. We might not agree. They might not agree with us, but it is certainly about empathy, which is understanding. And let me take that a little further. A lot of people say, oh, yeah, I'm very, I have a lot of empathy, Dave. And it's like, well, no, most people are doing empathy. They're trying to understand, but they're understanding it from their view. You remember back in one of the segments, we had this movie screen idea. And you got to watch the movie with them through their lenses. So empathy really is understanding another person from their worldview, not yours. Not necessarily agreeing, just understanding. Step one. We need to know our clients' feelings and emotions. I love this. This is simplicity, folks. Do you know your client? I mean, are what you're saying, is it bad? Is it the walls coming up? Is it neutral? It's going nowhere? Or are you moving this thing forward in a way that's productive?
I just have a quick question. What's tougher, indifference or the walls are being built?
That's a good question. I would put them in the same category. Indifference is no good. That's going nowhere. When the wall's going up, they're running away. You're making a way for them not to move forward. I don't want either one of those. When I go to my office, I want this for me, and I want this for my client. That's a better day. Right? This should be that way. We've heard this a million times. Clients do business with us. Why? Because they know, like, and trust. Well, how do you get people to know you, like you, and trust you? That's communication. If we're not spending time on removing barriers of communication, look, they might not become a client in our first meeting. I tell people all the time, look, you're prospecting, you're selling an appointment. Go have a cup of coffee. Get to know somebody. Find out if they like you. Build some trust. They might do business with you. But we want them to do business before this happens. And I think more importantly, when they meet with you, I ask people, when people meet with you, do you have a clear path? And it's not the technical path. Here's what I believe in. This is profound in our firm. After people leave my office, and I want this to happen every meeting, there's a lot of technical things that might go on, all this. I want them to leave with hope. I want them to leave with clarity, understanding, and direction. We're taking a next step, moving them forward. Okay, so how do you piece all this together? Well, we've talked a lot about the pillars of non-convincing language, a very philosophical way, not a tit for tat, you say this, I say this system that self-develops, and we have many stories through the segments, and there's more in the book, for you to learn how to communicate totally without fear. And if you want to email me and ask questions and stuff, email address is up here, david@davidlanderson.com. That's my personal email. Email me. We'll be glad to talk to you, share with you what we're doing and the effect that it has.
For more information on the action steps that you can take to implement Dave's lifetime income process and how it can expand your practice, just click on the landing page address in the video description. And for more information on our shows, seminars, or workshops, just follow us on social media or visit us on our webpage. I'm Steve Savant. We'll see you next time on the Thought Leadership Series. And remember, keep thinking outside the box.